Hey everyone, how's it going today? I hope you're having a great day like we are. We've had an awesome day working on our priorities, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. But have you ever had one of those days when you had this list of things to get done and you just couldn't seem to get done no matter how hard you worked, no matter how fast you did it, you couldn't get done with your list? Well, tonight we're going to tell you about a process that works every single time. And to illustrate that process for you, Miss Gina has a little illustration to show you with Skittles. Everybody knows what that is. And oranges. Okay, Gina, let's see it.
All right, Kevin. So when we talk about Skittles and oranges in ULA, people probably wonder what the heck we're talking about. So I'm going to give you a little demonstration exactly what Skittles and oranges are and how they will help you get your goals set for your day if you do it right. So every day we wake up and we have a list of things that we need to do. Some of the things are Skittles and some of the things are oranges. And the difference is Skittles are our everyday tasks that we have to complete. And oranges are our goals that are going to get us to where we want to be. So most of the time, what happens is we let the day run us and we fill our day up with Skittles. So that's going to be stuff like Facebook, doing the laundry, cleaning the house, running to the grocery store, running the kids around town, and then, of course, some more social media. What happens is we fill our day with a bunch of Skittles, and then when it's time to start working on our actual tasks that are going to help us reach our goals, suddenly they don't fit. Going to the gym, planning a date night, doing Bible study, doing our food prep, doing our budget, and then we're overflowed with things and we don't have time. So what if we, instead of doing our day that way, we plan our day a little bit different. And we start with our Skittles and oranges 3x5 note card, which is something that we teach in ULA to help you get to where you want to go. So on our list, the first thing we're going to do when we get up is we're going to do our Bible study. Then I'm going to carve out time in my day to do my food prep. Then I'm going to plan my date night. Then I'm going to sit down and do my monthly budget. And then I'm going to go to the gym. I have all of these now scheduled throughout the day. So then all of the stuff that's extra that we get carried away with, Facebook, laundry, grocery store, kids, and more social media, suddenly all fits. So it's just a different way to plan out your day and be a little bit smarter with your time and with your priorities. And so when I do my Skittles and oranges note cards, I really try to think about what is going to move me in the direction of my goals. So a couple things, for example, that I would use as my oranges is, so like today, I had a coaching call. I had this live tonight. I am trying to read a new book because I want to interview someone here shortly on this page in a couple weeks. I did all of my vitamins and supplements all put out, and then I sent an email to a potential client. Those are all things that are moving me in the direction that I want to go. A couple Skittles, I had to go to work today. I had to clean the house when I got home, and I had to juice all of my oranges for my food prep stuff. So that's kind of how I plan my day. A lot of times my Skittles are cleaning the house and taking care of kids and running to the grocery store and all the things. So that's how I plan my day, and that I have seen huge improvements in my life, just getting things done and using these lists to prioritize everything for me. What about you, Darla?
Oh, that's perfect demonstration, Gina. Thank you. We've heard about this kind of stuff, and we've read the ULA book, and we think we're living our ULA life, but then we really have days where we really aren't getting anything done. And I know it's all fun to have a pajama day once in a while, right? But this is like letting your day run you, like Gina said. But after time, it's not just one day. It runs into 2 days and 3 days and 4 days. And pretty soon it's day to day to day to day. And you feel like you're fatigued and you're overwhelmed, and you just can't seem to find the energy to do anything else except get your rear to work and take care of the base necessities like feeding the family and feeding yourself and showering, and you're done again. And it's time to go back to bed and go back to work again, right? So what happens when you start thinking about what do you want, first of all? And then when you go through ULA with us, or by yourself, if you've made a goal for yourself, then you need to start taking some action towards it. Action is what's going to get you a little closer. And if you've had a dream for a long time and you just don't seem like it ever is coming to fruition, it's because you don't have a daily plan for it. When you do consistent work over time, even if it's little steps, you're going to see a big difference, and you're going to get there. And Kevin and I have changed our life. We're healthier, we're happier, we have more fun. And it's really because we're excited when we get up in the morning. When the alarm goes off, we're happy. We have our morning routines. His isn't the same as mine, but we have different morning routines. We're excited to go to our work. We enjoy our work. And then we also carry our cards around, and these cards are a big deal. Mine sometimes are pretty and fun, and sometimes they're just messy. But we just have a card every day, and sometimes it has 3 things on it. Sometimes it'll have 7. It just depends on what I'm doing in my day. And I don't bash myself when I don't get something finished. I just put it on the next card for the next day. And I think it's really helpful for some people to put some easy things on here to do, but part of this is my morning routine, and I can get it done first thing in the morning. I don't know about you, but it feels good to check something off my list. So if that means you need to schedule for yourself to get up an hour earlier, or 45 minutes earlier, or 15 minutes earlier, so that you can do something for yourself first thing in the morning, like pray or meditate, or just have a cup of tea or coffee in the morning and sit outside and listen to the birds for 15 minutes. That kind of self-love is really helpful for you. And then it will help you energize. And if you get moving somehow, if you stretches or do some walking or something in the morning, that will set your tone for the day. And there's always a thing that says make your bed, right? And that could be on the Skittles side, because making my bed is one of the things I just normally do. But the Skittle of making your bed is just, at least you still feel like you've accomplished something, right? The oranges are what's going to get you closer to your goal. So I hope that helps. If you guys need some extra love and attention, we're all here for you. Just tell us what your goal is, and we'll help you make some daily action steps towards it if you need to. That's my helpful tip for the day.
All right. So my particular strategy is very much the same but different. So I have talked before about being a teacher, a planner, big planner. So I like to have my days already scheduled out being a teacher. I have it planned out minute by minute. I mean, recesses at 10:13, not at 10:15, type of a thing. But I have to have things planned out. It can be super easy stuff that's on my Skittles and oranges. And some days, like Darla said, it's harder stuff. And I've had a couple this week. I'm glad Darla mentioned it, because you do want to give yourself a little bit of grace whenever you have those days where it just doesn't quite get done. I've had a couple, like 3 different doctor's appointments I've had to schedule or reschedule for later on, closer to my summer. And that I've called 3 and 4 times, but they're not answering the phone. So it automatically gets bumped to my next day. So, at least I'm trying to do those steps and everything. I do mine in one of these like little planners. I took the cover and made it a fun little ULA one, and it has all of my things in it. So it makes it really easy to plan my monthly stuff in here. And then it also has those days in there, and they're the perfect size for your note cards. So one little tip I do want to give you on what I do on my end, not only like Darla said, try to make sure you do something A, for yourself, and 2, something you can do right away in the morning. It lights the fire underneath you to be able to do one thing and know before you even walk out that door that you have done something on your list. I mean, I do mine. I usually will sit here and do something for myself, whether it's gratitude, like writing in my gratitude journal, or planning out something for my day. Sometimes I grade my papers early in the morning, because if I do it late at night, I think about my kiddos way too much, and then I can't sleep as well. So I will do that first thing in the morning. That's helped me a lot this year. Here's my one tip, though, for you super planners like myself. On top of my note card, and since mine is like a week at a glance, I also write what we're having for dinner that day on the top. It helps me know who's making dinner, for one, because my children each have one day that they are in charge of making dinner. And then it helps me with my grocery planning and everything on Sundays. So I know what I need to get and what we are making for dinner throughout the week. That way I don't have to think about that whenever I get home from a busy day. I don't have to know what's for dinner. I look on my card, if you will, and it's right there. And that's super helpful. I also, in the winter time, I had to put drink water on my card a lot, because I can drink water like nothing right now. It's 85, 90 degrees here in Arizona already, and it's no problem at all to drink my water. And in the winter time, not so much. I have to write it down on my list in order to make sure I drink my 2 large bottles. So those are my tips. I hope that was helpful for somebody. And Wendy, you are going to go next.
Awesome. Hello, everybody. I love these tips because everything I hear from you guys just helps me. So I love this. So I am the best squirrel out there. Let me tell you, I am so distracted. And what I have found, what has been the biggest thing for me is exactly what we're talking about. The biggest thing for me in getting my ULA life has been this very simple 3x5 card. And don't discount how simple it might sound or seem or look. I can tell you that it works. So for me, what I do is on the right-hand side, which is my oranges side, this is, as everyone has said, this has to do with the goals that I've set for myself for 2021. And every day I write down at least 3, and sometimes, as Darla said, sometimes there's more, small steps that I can take that are getting me towards these goals that I've set for myself. And kind of like what Colette just said about drinking water, the one thing that's on my card every single day, it's right up at the very top here, it's walk. Because that is part of my commitment to myself, and the goal that I want to achieve is to get out and walk every single day. And sometimes the day gets away from us, right? It doesn't matter whether we work full time or whether we don't. The day can get away from us so quickly. So I have to make sure that I write that on there. So The other thing that I do for myself under the Skittles side is I use that to keep track of things in our household that I know I need to do. So I don't, for instance, write down laundry on there, but what I do write on there, for instance, I wrote on here, send the taxes to our accountant. So because it's some of the more bigger things that it's like, oh man, if I don't write that down, I might forget to do it. So that's what I use my Skittles site for, is those things in life that I know that I can't lose sight of. And then my tip for you around using these cards, other than honestly just go to the dollar store, pick some up and start using them, is do the hardest thing first. If you possibly can, try to do the hardest thing first. Because we all know as we get on through the day, you know, we get a little worn down. And so it's easier if we can sort of scratch that off first. And it makes everything else seem a little easier. I know we can't always do that, but if you can, I really recommend that you do that. I love doing that because there's things that I put on here that I don't particularly like doing. So I make sure that I do those first. So that is my tip for today. And I hope that you've enjoyed these tips, and I am picking up from everybody. So next is Kevin, and he's going to share with us.
Yes, I better turn my mic on so you can hear me. Hi, everybody. So you might have heard Wendy say that on her left side of her card, which was a Skittle, so to Wendy, sending the taxes to her accountant was not a priority that was like an orange, right? But guess what? To her accountant, it probably is an orange. Do Wendy's taxes. That's a major thing that he needs to take care of, or she needs to take care of. And so you get to be you. You get to decide what goes on the left side and what goes on the right side, and which things are your priorities and which things are the tasks that you just have to do every day. So if you heard something someone said tonight that seemed like, oh no, that's a major thing for me, to make sure that I have dinner ready or I have the laundry done, whereas somebody else might consider that just something they have to do, that's okay. It's up to you to decide that. But like Wendy brought up, what we do every year is we take these stickers and we actually write down on the stickers a major goal that's going to help progress us to get to a major dream that we have. For instance, one of the stickers that I made this year was to walk in a 10K, or walk and run in a 10K. I've never done that before. I did a 5K last year. And now I am actually able to do a 5K just about every day. So I went from walking around the block. The first day I wrote up my note card back about a year ago. I got it all the way around the block. And then later that week, I was able to actually walk around 2 blocks and then 4 blocks. And then it was a mile. And then by about April, May of last year, I was getting in a mile and a half. And then I got into 2 miles. And then in the end of August, I started doing a 5K every day. And so that's what I try to do now. So I'm going to have to ramp up my daily goal so that I can figure out how I can do a 10K, because that's what my goal is to accomplish by the end of the year. And so I'm really excited about that. And I'm so excited that I get up in the morning and I go work out. And then I also like to journal. So I'll either write some prayers down in a journal, or what I'm thinking about, or I'll plan out my day and my calendar and what I'm going to be working on. And those things just seem to totally make a difference in how my day goes, because I'm setting an intention and trying to make sure that I've got things lined out for the day so that I can actually accomplish all of my priorities, or as Gina put it, get all my oranges in the vase first before all those Skittles start falling in. And so that's what we're talking about tonight, is you deciding on what your priorities are, writing them down on the right side of your card, and then making room for those things that are going to happen that you know you have to do, but they may not be priorities that are going to propel you towards your goal that you want to make in 3 months or 6 months or by the end of the year. And this is why we are so passionate about this process. Do you know that last year I was 25 pounds heavier and I was 6 sizes bigger in the waist? And I, through that working out and walking every day, I was able to change myself. And not only did I change my outer appearance, I changed how I thought about myself and how I felt about myself too, because I changed my whole self-image of how I looked, because I worked on myself and I made improvements that I've been trying to do for the last 30 years. But this little simple 3x5 note card actually allowed me to do it. And the way that happened was, if you are a mathematician whiz, you might have already figured out, well, wait a minute. If Kevin does one of these cards a day and it has just 3 items on there, just 3 things, if he actually accomplished 3 things every day, at the end of a year, that is well over 1,000 different priorities. Can you believe that? Can you imagine what you could accomplish if you could accomplish over 1,000 steps? It took Thomas Edison over 1,000 tries to figure out how to make a light bulb. What if that was your one thing, to invent something new that would change the world? Well, let me tell you, if you will take up this process like the rest of us have done, you will change yourself. And if you can change yourself, you will change the world and everyone around you also. We certainly appreciate all of you being with us tonight. We will come back and talk to you again next week, and right here on our Living Differently on Purpose group on Wednesday evening. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to say? Just goodbye. Okay. All right.
I love you.
Thank you, everybody.
Be grateful.
Good morning. That's right.
Be grateful.
Have
Have
faith.
faith.
And go get
your ULA.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.